Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video. Back here to talk about One UI 7 Beta 2 1 week later. Following up with my overall thoughts about Samsung and this One UI 7 beta program, the second installment of that, and how has it been rocking unofficial software this so far. Tongue twister right there. And I want to say it has been a joy to use for sure. I want to say that Samsung has been doing a whole lot better job when it comes to their beta programs with One UI 7 than they had in the past. And that's also a good thing because that shows Samsung is able to stabilize software a whole lot easier. Thus, once the rollout begins, it won't take them long to finally drop the official software. Now, we know with One UI 7 in general, it took them some time to finally get One UI 7 rolling, and I think that is because they had just a lot of different types of ideas and features late in the process that they wanted to implement into One UI 7, and that's why we're where we're at today when it comes to One UI 7 being late in general to our devices. But the beta program has been a lot shorter, at least in regards to the Galaxy Z Fold 6, than it has been for the Galaxy S24 Plus, or the S24 series, I should say. They're on like beta 5, beta 6. However, we know that April 7th is when the official rollout will begin. For this being beta 2, it's going to be interesting to see how many betas we get for the Galaxy Z Fold 6 since April's right around the corner. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about some of the things that I am impressed by. I'm impressed by the fact that beta 2 was a little bit, was significantly smaller than the first beta, but it wasn't like a teeny update. It was around 600 megabytes, and it addressed a lot of problems with widgets, specifically with the battery notification bar, the battery widget, so to speak, the lock screen. Now, one of the issues I've seen with the lock screen is that although it will now lock in the clock widget, it will actually not revert your lock screen if you use mode. So let's say you change a specific mode's kind of lock screen style, it will stay there. And the only way to get out of it is for it to then shift modes for it to finally swap, or you have to reset the device. So it's kind of weird with the lock screen. Maybe they have addressed that in beta 3 that has dropped today as of Tuesday, and that's why I'm kind of doing this video now. I like doing these videos right before I install the new software so that we can begin rolling talking about that in the next video. Overall, I think I love, again, like I said, I love the widgets that they have included here. The other problem I've noticed is I cannot change my wallpaper on my home screen for my interior display. As you see, when I click on it, it says couldn't set wallpaper. I don't know why that is. It's very strange that it will not let me change that, and I want to, and maybe after beta 3, I will be able to. But it's just some weird bugs when it comes to the wallpapers and the lock screen with One UI 7 that I have been experiencing, and I'm hoping that they will fix those, ASAP. One of the other things I appreciate is the fact that they are paying attention to us in the community section when it comes to our issues or recommendations for software, for features, for our thoughts and opinions on the software, and it's really noticeable with beta 3, and that's why I'm not trying to spoil too much of it, but they are paying attention to us in the comment section, and that's something that I definitely appreciate when it comes to Samsung and the community surrounding Samsung products. Now, again, when it comes to using this device, the biggest thing that stands out to me is battery life. Now, it's in the morning, so you're going to notice I have quite good battery life, somewhere in the 90, mid to high 90 percentiles. But overall, it only took about a day and a half, 2 days for the battery to kick right back into being very, very well optimized. And that shows that, again, not only is One UI 7 beta optimized, but the One UI 7 stable release will also be optimized for our devices. And for this having like a 4400 milliamp battery, and for me to be able to get a full day out of it, that speaks volumes to Samsung's prowess when it comes to really handling their software now and optimizing it for different phone types. So that way, no matter what phone you really have, you should get quality battery life out of your device. That's something that I've definitely appreciated when it comes to Samsung's One UI 7 beta program so far and my Galaxy Z Fold 6. The other thing I also find a little bit interesting in terms of some quirks or some bugs is that the widgets can be slow to load in sometimes when coming from a dead screen. Now, right now it's not because I just had it active, but let's say I let the phone sit 5-10 minutes. Sometimes you'll notice the modes load in slowly. And sometimes that happens when switching between modes. So I basically just have like a relaxed mode for most of the day and then a night mode that shifts into sleep mode. And I'll notice, even though the widgets haven't changed, it's just the wallpaper that changes. The widgets will slowly load in, or sometimes this is slow to respond. And right now it's not again. Whenever it decides to be, the stage light is on, it now wants to work perfectly. But nonetheless, those are some of the things I've experienced when it comes to One UI 7 beta so far, but it hasn't been anything that has gotten in the way of me using it. Just some weird quirks and some things that I know that it'll be worked out in the next week, which again brings me to the point of consistency. Samsung has been very consistent with their software throughout this beta program, and that's from a week to week update. And also, the software itself has been more or less consistent. I haven't really noticed too many weird outlier problems that shoot out of nowhere. It's usually something in the vein of the same area. And as I've highlighted through a few videos now, it's just like the lock screen wallpapers, or the lock screen and the wallpaper functionalities that are bugging out right now with One UI 7. Everything else seems to be working fine. I mean, you got font and stuff that's still somewhat of an issue, being too small. But it has been consistent with having a persistent issue in the same area, but also having consistency in terms of just working very, very well. And that's something that I definitely like about this software. And I'm definitely hoping that Bixby actually does get renamed to Galaxy AI in the future. That way, it's a little bit easier to maybe accept Galaxy AI or Bixby as a form of a digital assistant that can actually work alongside Gemini, or just in general be a viable option for use. And I like using it for on-device stuff. I haven't used it in a while. I actually just recently activated it back because it is nice to see that little Bixby icon down at the bottom. It looks better than Gemini, because Gemini just sucks up the entire screen. It's like, bro, what are we doing right now? Bixby basically looks similar to that, but I like that blue style from Samsung, and I'm hoping that they really improve Bixby with One UI 7 and One UI 8 for that matter. What else do I like? I like the fact that the widgets loaded in fast that time when it comes to the open screen, the main screen on a device. I've also noticed that when trying to check for updates in the Play Store, it can take some time. So watching this check for updates, this takes kind of long now, considering it's beta software. And of course, all I gotta do is check to see what that is, and then it'll start updating. Now, with the Galaxy Store, it does not take long. That's not anything I have an issue with from that perspective. Now, as you see, we have some updates, and what I'm gonna do is, now that was a slight delay. So overall, my thoughts are battery life continues to remain supreme with One UI 7, even on its beta process in this beta program. The software has been consistent. There's still some bugs, of course, seeing as this is beta 2. I'm wondering if we're going to get 4 betas, because next week would be early April, right before the 7th. I could see them issuing out 2 updates. I could see them issuing out what could be considered the quote-unquote release candidate the week of April 3rd, with a small or minor update around, April 7th, in the vein of like 400 to 500 megabytes to officialize the software for One UI 7. I can see that for the Galaxy Z Fold6 for sure come April 7th. So it's going to be interesting to see. The One UI 7 Beta 3 is a little larger than I was expecting, which means there's a lot of things that's being fixed and a few new features. So definitely stay tuned for that video, because I want to highlight those for you guys. But all in all, I definitely think if you wanted to jump in the One UI 7 beta program, if you haven't already, this is a good time to do so, especially with beta 3, because now you get some more features and you get some more bug fixes where you can kind of come in and really feel out One UI 7 for yourself. And you should find a good level of pleasure using the software. So those are my recommendations. That's my experience so far with One UI Beta 2. Let me go ahead and install One UI 7 Beta 3, so that way we can get things cracking from that perspective. Let me know down in the comment section below if you're on the beta program. Are you going to join, or are you just going to wait the next few weeks out before you decide to finally rock One UI 7? The comment section is open for discussion. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, the notification bell. It's all free. That way you never miss my video, so you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. And don't forget to hit that super thing button down there by the like and dislike button, Cash App and PayPal, and check the channel out for all the videos available to you. That's why you keep Tech Fresh and alive on this channel. So man, Micah signing out, and until the next video, wait for it.